And we're live. Howdy, folks. Howdy, Dad.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
We're doing better now. Yeah.
You feeling better, Kai?
I'm feeling much better, thank you. Yeah,
Good.
the old ticker is back where it's supposed to be.
Perfect.
So,
Did they have to restart it?
nope.
Oh,
Just a bunch of medication and give it a bunch of time, and finally things slip back in the way they're supposed to. So,
good. Drugs. The drug industry found something to hook you on. There you go. They got you now.
But yeah, no, last Monday night, so a week ago Monday night, heart started racing. I'm in the 140s and all over the map as far as rhythm goes, and chest pain and the whole 9 yards. So I kind of contribute the chest pain to taco night. So but eat more possums already here. The day of infamy when the world was inflicted with 360-degree spin videos. Yep, I feel your pain, possum. Akiracho is here, East Coast. Dusty, Warren, howdy, fellers. Yeah. Shall we address the elephant in the room?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, we knew the Mavic 4 was going to be a beast. We knew that from the get-go. But DJI dissing the US the way they're doing now is, yeah, not sitting well with a bunch of people.
Yep, unfortunately. But the earth is still turning for us.
The world is still turning, and there
still things to do that you can do, like fly these little puppies.
Yeah.
So, this was fun. This really made me feel good today. I felt ousted because I couldn't buy the Mavic 4, but freaking Beta FPV gave me this fun little thing. I threw that freaking 04 unit in there, which has jello up my butt, and it was still fun to fly. So we got to talk about that when we get a chance. I want you to. Yep. We want to talk about the jello solution because there's 4 different freaking versions of the jello fix.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, we'll get back on there, but I think that's something we should address. It's a fun drone, by the way. It's a great, powerful little thing. For 1S, it freaking hauls ass. So not bad. And I'm not a whoop flyer. That's actually the first whoop I've ever. Well, I learned on a whoop, but all right, let's go to this crap.
Here are some prices for the Mavic 4. This is U.S. prices, but this is on the Canada, because on the U.S. side, you can't even find the Mavic 4.
Oh yeah, I'd own that right now. That thing would be in the mail right now if I could buy it.
Well,
I'd be right on that sucker, man. But it ain't to be. It's not to be.
Well, it's what, $2,000 was the RC2, and then Fly More is $2,800, and then the real where you get the new controller, you're looking $3,500.
Yeah, that new controller is worth every penny. But
I know it's worth it, but gee,
it's $1,000 basically you're paying for that. But it's kind of like your pro controller. What are they going to make it work with? You just don't. I don't trust them.
Yep.
Is that where you were going to go?
Well, this is exactly where I'm going, because the RC Pro, I have it, and there's about a handful of models that you can fly with it. Now, I kind of was hoping that they make the RC Pro work with this thing. for people wanting to upgrade from 3. Yep, now he disconnect himself. Where'd you go? Dad has left the building. Let's see if he gets back on. Anyhow, yeah, I was hoping the RC Pro would be compatible. You're back.
Yeah, I've got new tabs and I accidentally closed the tab. Maybe tabs aren't a good idea. I put some
So anyhow,
Chrome
no.
tabs now. Yeah, I
Well,
just $1,000 and and you can't use it because we all like anybody that flies a photo bird, even like a Mavic, a Mini 4, just be awesome,
and I
anything.
mean, really, in order to get the full features out of the Mavic 4, you have to have this new controller.
Yeah. And the same thing with the Autel. If you want to fly the high-end Autel birds, they do the same thing. They've got 2 controllers. They're both really good.
But call me nostalgic or whatever. Hold out, whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm on the Air 2S. I'm going to stay on the Air 2S. I have no need for this. If you got people like Ken Noah that does this shit for a living, I can see him having a use case for it.
but I
But
bet you he doesn't. I bet you he doesn't even have one. I mean, I saw the
he
video.
does.
He doesn't own that. He's sending that back. So if he wants one, he's still going to have to buy it, and then it's going to have to go through customs. So
Yeah,
he's.
well, here I think DJI got caught was their pants down because they've sent a bunch of units to US based channels and now they can't deliver in the US, yet they still want the videos.
I think I understand why you'd put a video up. I would do the same thing, but you're just spinning your wheels, you're putting them up. I mean, the world's bigger than just you. I mean, you're basically putting it up for Canada and you're putting it up for the UK or any other English speaking country
Yeah.
that likes your channel. I mean, anybody that knows English, that, or anybody else that has, that puts, subtitles or whatever, but you still do it, but it's
Now I got news
yeah.
for you. The rest of the world speaks English on top of their native language. Yeah, if you ever and I've been talking about this engineer that went out on to sea to go explore for oil, and somebody asked him, how do you communicate on board with all these different nationalities? And he's like, dude, everybody on board speaks English, or most of them probably better than you. So, yeah, it's just. The videos, the English speaking videos, gonna have a lot of traction worldwide.
I'm there. I mean, a lot of people are going like Eddie Nunez has been. I've been talking with him a lot. He just jumped over the river. He just went over to Canada and just grit and bought one. He brings it back. He just have to declare a value and then just come in. I mean, it's already paid
Yeah.
for. So you can do that. You can carry it into the country or something like that. But I couldn't get it through the mail because then they would nail it with, with tariff, and they would nail it with the sales tax. I don't mind paying
Well,
the sales tax.
there is some good news on the tariffs. Apparently, they're going down by 110%. So Chinese products still will be tariffed 30%, and U.S. product going to China will still be tariffed by 10%. And apparently that is effective tomorrow. So
somebody said July they're going to go. They're taking a trip. I think that was Gabe Shakur. I follow him on X. He says he's going to go to Europe this summer, and he's just going to bring one back. He's going to go to somewhere. He's always traveling, but he's that's an option. But I'm thinking by July they're going to have this figured out. I really do. I think there'll be stocks in camera stores. I would say I think by June, actually. So that's my guess. I'm just guessing. Because
there's some real shady individuals that have the Mavic 4 Pro 512 creator combo on eBay right now for $5,000.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not stupid, so there are people that would do that just to have it, and
politics aside,
it's very short-sighted,
but just politics aside and tariffs aside and everything, this thing is an absolute beast.
Yeah,
we knew it was going to be an absolute beast, and
yeah, it's fantastic. The
flight. It puts prosumer. This is not even prosumer level anymore. This is just flat out pro level.
Yeah, I'm only disappointed in the third camera. We don't need the third camera. I wish they didn't put that in. I wish they would have taken the second camera and made it a 1 inch. We always want more, but that would have been absolutely amazing to have a micro 4/3 camera with a 1 inch pairing. Holy crap. You'd have the images I'm seeing from the night footage of even the camera 2 is really good. The DJI is doing miracles with their software. So it's fun. I would have a lot of fun with it.
The updates to the Fly app, you're gonna be able to get anywhere, even in the States.
Onboard ND filter. Actually, the ND filter is electronic. It basically is an attachment, and it's not on board. It's not in the software. It's going to be a peripheral. They're going to attach it. There's actually pins for it. It's freaking cutting edge shit, guys. It's freaking really cool. And that's the real, as long as we've been flying drones in this country, I've only been doing this for 8 years now. Crap, it keeps getting longer and longer. And it's just amazing what's happened. And it's sad that everything that we've moved forward on, we're still, we can't get our hands on. It sucks. But yeah, I'll as soon as I can get one, I'm going to get one. But I'm not paying more than it's worth. There's no way. I'm not stupid. I don't need to. I've got a life outside of this crap, and I would love to fly it. And it would be great because when I finally get it, all those videos will be forgotten. And because all those pump up videos for nobody that get in the US for buying them. There'll be a few of them. There'll be the Eddies that get them, that go out.
I'm surprised DJI is asking the guys to return the quads, as you were telling me.
It's to me, it's cheap ass bullshit. You're going to ask somebody to do something. I don't care how much, if $3,000, you're basically saying they're not worth that you can't tell me that DJI doesn't have a massive budget. I'm sure there's a cash transaction too on that creator side. But and then there's probably a discount on the purchase, which makes sense. But just, dude, you're $1 billion company. Hand it over. Freaking hey, guys.
Well,
So cheap. It's freaking cheap. But yeah, if one of you guys gets a hold of one or finds a way that there's a little loophole you figure out, let me know.
going to Mason, Texas.
Mason.
I happen to know where Mason, Texas is. It's one of them German communities out there toward the Fredericksburg way. And there used to be a general store in town that had pretty decent food. Back in the day when I was riding bikes, we would go through there and stop there for lunch.
Mason. Boy, if lunch
Yeah.
sounds good. I've been on a diet now for about a month. No sweets or limited
Bull,
amounts of them.
bullshit.
It's made a big difference. I feel good. I'm craving. I get cravings really bad. Fredericksburg. Joe
Yeah, old Mason, Texas. They
says 45 minutes from
go there a
Fredericksburg.
couple times.
I'm going to strap my 360 camera on the bottom of my Air 3. Yeah. It's the 360 is fun. I did another video today with the Meteor, and I'm just trying to use the 360 camera for everything. It gets one really good perspective shot that I'm noticing that some people are now using, but not very many. My Captain Drone uses it, and the only way to shoot it is with the 360. You can get the launch shot, and I've been able to do that launch shot. It is sweet. It's like one of the coolest shots if you're flying drones, especially if you're going to fly a 6S and you're going to launch it, just freaking punch it, and you can just see it go off into the distance. And the resolution's getting better, so I could see that little freaking that whoop, in the sky, probably 300 or 400 feet away. I could still see it moving. Like, wow. Before it would go off and then it would just disappear in pixels. But I think I can be converted to whoop flying. They're easy to fly. They're easy to throw together. If I could just get that, I've got it in 4x3 mode now. I didn't do any video for the 4x3. So are you ready to get the jello off here? Or you got something else online?
Yeah. I was going to talk a little bit about Cat X
Okay,
coming
do it.
out
Let's
with
go.
some product.
Let's go there.
There is two note things. Oop, wrong direction. These balls seem to be analog cameras, though. Because if you look at the connector on it, come back here. There we go. If you look at the connector on it, says CVBS, ground, and power. So that's the old way of wiring an analog camera. And this one looks like a new version of the infrared camera that they already have. But both of those being released tomorrow.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they look like. I mean, if
Apparently, analog ain't dead yet. And Cadex is also coming out with a new digital system that they said they developed from ground up. It's supposed to be a cheap alternative, blah, blah, blah. And one of the ideas floating around it is it's possibly a digitized or digitalized analog. And that is something that HD0 does too, where they have an analog camera, but then the VTX turns it into a digital signal to get back to the goggles. So, and Bob Casey's in the house. Howdy, fella. Yeah, and as Joe points out, let's make sure y'all hit that thumb, please. We appreciate it. So there's some new product coming from Cadex. Cadex is not really behaving themselves too well right now, so we'll have to find out how that all plays out. Apparently, they're threatening some sort of legal action against Matchstick. So
petty.
Yeah. And well, I guess since we're talking about walk snell stuff, I got a pair of the goggles here. I literally just got it. Picture looks good in it, but you are not gonna get a pair of glasses in there. No way, no how. So I will have to order the goggle insert or the glasses insert was the prescription for these. $30 on the Cadex website. So
I'm still kind of on the fence because of the N3s. I do like kind of like if I'm working on the bench and I'm like working on something and I want to see out the camera, those are real easy to throw over your glasses.
Yep.
And I was doing that last night and I had to keep taking my glasses off and put them on because I was using the other goggles. And I was like, gosh, it's so much simpler. So there are some really good qualities to those goggles, even though, like I said, they don't have a nice, perfectly flat screen. That'd be the big argument. To me, it's not about the screen flatness. It's about the width of the field of vision. And once again, I'm flying the 04 light and I'm flying and I get close to something and I want to.
The problem was the 04 light as the actual camera on the 04 light because it's a freaking narrow field of view.
Yeah, I was there's some things that I wanted to do, and
I find that rather counterproductive to flying the whoop on that narrow.
Yeah, you need a wide camera with a whoops because you're going to be doing a lot of I was trying to fly indoors with it and I just couldn't do it. I think there's too much power on the motors really for me to fly indoors. You need a bigger area.
My feeling this was the 04 light. You think you're through a door and you turn and then you find out you're still in the door, in the doorway.
You're hitting the freaking door jam
right in front of you.
Yeah. But I'm glad that I flew today. I just really am. It allowed me to deflect the Mavic 4 stuff out of my brain because everything new and cool I'm interested in, and that was a lot of fun. I still love to fly FPV more than anything. It gives you the most rush from flying. If you go and fly any kind of FPV and you just go out, I always get endorphins and feeling good, and it makes my day better. It's almost like therapy,
Yeah, and we all know you need therapy. I didn't show you yet. I've done some upgrades on the 7-inch. I moved the antenna to the crossfire antenna to the front.
Oh, you moved away
Turn out some new blue TPU and then put a real set of antennas on the back.
Yeah, that looks great. That's a true 7-inch there. That's freaking. That makes me think of Mr. Croc. Is that a sore
Mr.
subject?
Croc, who you abandoned on the golf course.
He's in the rocks somewhere. He's lost. His life will be with golf balls forever.
Yeah, he's on the golf course crying because Dad abandoned him.
Destined to the world of golf balls.
Crashed him into the rocks and abandoned him like a red-headed stepchild. That's strong cruelty right there. But yeah, I mean, right now the way the prices are on FPV gear, the freaking Moonlight kit is about the same price as a 04 Pro unit. So shit, I'm going to just buy an 04 Pro unit. I do have the Goggles 3 coming. They'll be on Friday. So yeah, I took the plunge. I'm gonna buy. No, I bought the Goggles 3. I'll probably sell the N3s, the box goggles. Don't know.
Yeah,
I may keep them around for a spectator goggle, but
yeah, I am. I'm gonna keep the N3s for a lot of reasons. They're just nice and simple, and it's almost something that it's nice to have when you just got to run out and do something. I don't know. You know, I just they're so inexpensive that it's like why would I at this point I just don't feel like I should sell them. I think I should use them. So
well, yeah. No, I've been looking around at Goggles 3, but I finally came by a pair of Goggles 3 on the secondary market. So it's not going to be new, but it's going to be new to me. And it comes with the case already and saves me about $100 off the new. So
yeah, I think your slow exodus out of walk snail and your very gradual entrance into DJI it's admirable.
Well, I'm not really doing
we can't buy anything right now. We're kind of screwed again.
I'm not doing an exodus out of walks now. I'm running dual.
Well, what's going to happen, Kai, is
the 7-inch has a walk snail on it.
It won't be long before we're all flying analog because there's nothing else for us to buy. We'll all go back. It's like we're all going back to the Stone Age. We're going to all fly analog. Try to make it better.
I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5, 6 quads still on walks now. Now the other thing is that I kind of overheard today is on planes on those guys right there. INAV is no longer supporting the 411 chip on the newer releases. So, and I think I have an F411 laying around for that thing and didn't get around to installing yet. And now the damn thing, I'm going to have to find something else to put that thing together. Darn it.
I'm sending love messages to my Canadian friends to see if they could smuggle me in a Mavic 4. All the way from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Somebody just put it in a box. plastic.
I'm actually inclined to agree it was Eat More Possum and 3 of the best goggles ever made. Because of the price.
They freaking are great. They're great because they fit nice. I would have flown with them today. I had already
They fit
set
on
up
your
the other one.
face with glasses on. It's not an issue.
They're just big. That's about the only thing I could say it's bad. They're just, if you're trying to put them in a small case, they take up space, but it's not that they're not that big.
Yeah. I didn't get to tell.
Price wise, they're just, it's a no brainer.
I got a made in this little puppy. I went out to the flying field.
Guy's been building some freaking badass birds lately.
I've been busy.
I have to get them the old fashioned way. I got to get them freaking mostly pre-built, and then I just slap cameras in them. Okay. While you're doing this, okay, one of the suggestions of taking the jello out of here is they're saying that these props suck ass, that I should be replacing them with a better prop. That's one of the suggestions, that these props are not very good. The other thing they're doing is they are adjusting the frequency of the ESCs.
You need to adjust the frequency of the ESCs to 48 kilohertz.
That's
Okay?
one.
It should be, your ESC should be on Blue Jay. If it's not, flash it to Blue Jay. Before you do, look at your motor directions and jog them down, because whenever you flash, everything gets reset to default. So you have to redo your motor direction after you do the flash.
The other mistake I made, Kai, is I didn't know that this thing actually comes pre-wired with ELRS. I didn't know it was already made for ELRS. There's an antenna on there. I would have freaking pulled the freaking control wire and I would have used my other controller. When I was doing that, I didn't know that. I didn't read I just said, okay, I'm going to throw this in and I'm just going to run it DJI. So S-Bus and.
Yeah, while we're chatting, I'm going to roll the.
Yes, the beautiful bean footage.
This is just, first flight was the AOS. And that's at that flying field down. And I'm actually flying in a Fria here.
That's literally freaking, that is a stereotype of Texas right there. Miles of flat nothing.
Well, this is actually an active airport.
It's miles of freedom is what I call that. Guys, let me tell you something. If I had a fixed wing bird, that's where you fly it. That's what these guys.
This is the AMA Club, San Antonio RC Drones, or RC, San Antonio RC Club.
Where's the runway?
Umbrella there on the back of the truck.
Where's their little runway?
I'm flying over the top of it right now. There's no little runway. This is a big.
You said that they were that these guys are flying some massive freaking.
Yeah.
Okay. What do they got? Like freaking wheelbarrow wheels?
Let's see if we can. I don't know if I'll fly over them on this flight or not. But no, this is the runway right here. This long straight part.
Yeah.
That's the runway. Okay. This open field next to it, it's part of the Fria. And that next field over, way in the background thing.
Wow.
That's still part of the Fria too.
Those trees there are part of the Fria?
Yep.
Yep. That's big.
Basically, the Fria goes down this sight line right here and then over.
They got a golf cart there?
I measured it out. Flying once around the perimeter of that FRIA is 2.2 miles.
Do they have a golf cart there in case you crash?
Nope.
I would do that if that would be my freaking little AMA club. I'd have a little electric golf club or something that you can go and drive out and get your freaking bird if it's 2 miles away. I would fly the entire length of that sucker. I don't give a shit. I would fly all the way to the end and back.
Yeah, well, I'm just no. This my first flight was a new drone.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's flying great.
Trying to just get a feel for it and see how it reacts. Yeah,
You got
it's
that
plenty
little
of
tree
speed.
there you can play around with, little tree down there.
Well, they let us fly. No, and behind you see that whole group of trees on the back here.
Right.
Oh, let us fly in over there too.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
So there's plenty of area to cover.
Kai's got to get his airplanes back out for that place.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to take the VTOL next time, next Sunday. But yeah, but this is an active airport actually. The Clinton does pay rent to hang out there. There's even bathrooms there. So, but yeah, you see that big field on the back there? That's all part of it too. I'm literally just kind of cruising around and getting a feel for it and seeing where it goes, seeing how that thing reacts to input and control inputs. Got a little jello here and there, but
Flying it hard, man. Speedy.
yeah, he's running cattle on that other on the other part, but
Oh yeah,
no.
that's freaking cattle area there. Look at all that grass, man.
See that big airplane he's got right there in the middle?
Oh yeah, that is big. It's bigger than this. It's like 2 people size.
It looked awesome in the air. Problem is when he landed, one of the hubs on the wheel disintegrated and darn near crashed the plane. So well, I had a freaking like 5-cylinder radial engine on it. So it sounds the part even. You know, he's got 2 figurettes and they get their scarves on. You see the scarves flying in the wind as the thing flies by. Pretty cool.
Taco.
Oh, it's the taco call. That's early. Yeah, I'll take that out for now. Anyhow,
No, we got all that construction going on, so my dog Steve hasn't eaten yet. That was a Steve alert.
oh well, Steve, I want fed.
Yeah.
Here, let me put it back on. You see that plane?
Yep. TB. What are they? Is that one of the Avengers? Well, it's the Texan, right? Is that it's the
It's like the T6 Texan.
yeah, T6. It's a trainer. It was a because the Texan was a torpedo bomber, wasn't it? I think that's what they did with that. It was straight and level. Pilot and bombardier. Yeah, that's a big plane. They're over there getting it ready like a freaking lawnmower.
Oh yeah. It was they had their work cut out with that too. So but hey, built a new quad and got it to fly pretty good and yeah, let's go. There, that gives you an idea what size that thing is. It is big. Come on. I don't know what thing I want to play. Well,
Oh, you there?
Hold on. We're
They
here.
I saw what the cool thing is when they put the cameras in the tail on those. When you stick an FPV camera in the tail, those are fun to watch. Where you get the the first person view, but actually say third person view. Actually, you're behind it.
Chuck had to be an electrician tonight. Let's call him Sparky.
I just posted a link to the Canadian seller. You
Yeah.
guys try it first. Tell me if it works.
One business here, and what else do we have? What else came in here? Oh yeah, I'm getting a little braver on this flight.
Ugh. All right, guys, I'm not sleeping good. Ugh. I'm sleeping in a foreign bed right now. Oh. Is it now? What's this one again?
That's still the AOS 5-inch.
The 5? Damn. I guess it's yeah, because that one you can literally fly the friggin' gamut with it.
Oh yeah.
You found the end of the runway.
Oh, I did find the end of the runway a couple times.
It's amazing. I like to see
But
your
yeah,
OSD
like I
to
said,
see if you're
one loop around the field is 2.2 miles.
that's like a real runway there. You could land
Yeah,
crop
there's
dusters there.
real airplanes in these hangars.
Yeah. That's a real field.
This is Mid-Lake Airport. So there's real planes in these hangars, and there's another one on the other end of the runway.
Just got to watch out for gopher holes. You see all those little berms there, and those are freaking animal holes. Got to land between them.
That's plenty of elbow room. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a great little place. So what's your next project, Kai? What are you putting what's in your mind right now?
What's in my mind right now is
You were talking
I've,
about
I've, I've got I got one more air unit. one air unit pro. And I have the Speedy B25, the B25 frame was the LEDs, the pro version of that frame. I do have it. I already got motors for it and everything else that you need to go with it. So that is a definite possibility that I actually will build that. And but there's some other frames that I've come across lately that that Oasis fly. 25 or the Oasis Flight 30. That's the SUP 250 frames. Here, let's pull this up. SUP 250. Here we go. So I'll take you out there. We'll close that out. So here's the Oasis.
Yeah, that's a nice little drone there.
That
little 2.5 inch. That's
okay. Here's the 04 version of it. This one has me very interested. This is also available as a 3-inch frame. So the pre-built's all 4S, but I would, if I were to build it, I would build the 3-inch frame as a 6S.
yeah, they're selling it with an 03 in this version, which is great. I mean, the 03 is freaking awesome. If you want a good camera, I mean, the 03 footage is great.
No, I want to build. I definitely want to build a frame.
And put the 04 in it. Yeah.
And
It'll
yeah,
look cool.
I will put the. I know they have it. It took me a minute to find it last time too. There it is, Oasis 30. So here's the frame, and that's what's the 04.
Yeah.
These are, I mean, $39. These are cheap frames.
Right.
Okay.
Oasis 30.
Throw an all-in-one. I've got no all-in-one here. I've got a set of 6S motors to throw on this thing. 3-inch props, be cute and cheerful, and I think this would be a good frame to build. And on the other side, I have enough. I've already got it here. It's that Speedy B25.
So they're flying it with a 720.
This one right here.
Or they're 4S. Yeah, they're flying at 4S.
Yeah, they're flying 4S. And Nick Burns did the review on the 25 and the 30, and he seemed to think the 30 needed a larger motor to compensate for the larger prop. So my thought is put it on 6S on the 1604 motor rather than the 1404 4S motor.
Yeah, if you make it 6S, it's going to be way more cool. You're going to get just
I got the
fun
Pro.
factor goes way up with 6S.
Yeah. Well, here's the Speedy B25, so that's a 2.5-inch center whoop. That's got a pretty nifty little LED kit with it that looks kind of fun, and it's fairly easy. I do have the aluminum alloy head too, and then
Is that the modular one? Does that unclip?
yeah, the air unit sits in this clip, and then you're supposed to be able to get
Yeah,
that
that's
Master 5,
a really
Master
cool
3.
concept.
Here's the Master 3. Now we make this bigger.
Yeah,
The Master 3 uses that same cage, and you're supposed to just be able to pull that cage off of the center, no, the center B or the B25 and stick it right here on this 3-inch frame.
Just plug it in, yeah, plug and play. That thing will be, if it's 04, the range will be forever.
Yeah. So
And
they
then
got the camera and the VTX and everything in that aluminum cage in the front, and just a couple screw and a connector. You pull it off and stick it on the B, so you've got basically 2 quads flying on one air unit.
yeah, that's a neat concept of, being able to take that and go from a larger. I mean, if you say you want to fly like a larger platform, they need to do that with like a 7S, where you can just buy the frame, get that big freaking powerful. That's kind of like Mr. Croc. That's the way it was kind of designed, but they put those goofy freaking antennas on the side there for the original air unit. But that's a better thought out version where the antennas are coming up. And it actually is removable.
Yeah. So this little thing has me interested, and that's why I kind of jumped on that B. That B25 frame was actually available on Amazon for about the same price as, actually it was cheaper than Race Day Quads on Amazon. So
Once again, it's like a little rocket size. This is the 3-inch version that I'm looking at right now. I had that 3.5 that I sold. And
so
do you have the link you can share that out?
you want a link to this thing?
Yeah, One Vision wants the link. Yeah, that's a Speedy Beast. Are they still nailing you with tariff costs?
Well, Speedy Bee said they won't shipping to the US currently, yet they have a store on Amazon where they do sell.
Yeah.
How the hell does this work? I'm writing in my own chat and I don't have a wrench on myself. How the fuck does that work? I'm going to have to wrench myself. Is that it?
That's weird.
Yeah, that's odd. Nope. There I show up in yellow highlights. So, weird. Anyhow, yeah. So I'm kind of torn between the two options. Now, I do have everything for that B25 here, so there's a good chance I'm going to build that thing anyway. And if need to, I'll just sell it without an air unit. I did buy some 4S motors for it because I'm not going to be able to fit my 6S batteries on this thing. And I picked up some Axis flying motors. The 1404.5 4500 kV. So should be an interesting quick build. I actually do have the Speedy Bee flight controller too. I was gonna buy it, and I bought that for a different project, but then this bee thing come along, and this just happens to be the flight controller belongs to that B25. So like I said, if you're looking for FPV parts, Amazon is your friend. I saw a guy on like Facebook FPV Marketplace, and he's like, anybody have an all-in-one flight controller for sale? And for his picture, he put a Speedy Bee flight controller up there. He was just looking for a flight controller that could do 6S, which the Speedy Bee can't. And all right, I just sent him a link to Amazon to that. He was so happy. I can't believe you find them on Amazon. I'm like, yep.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's still I still have plenty of spare parts in the parts bin here. Always something to build. I still have that Atlas 4-inch frame laying around too that I haven't done anything with yet. I may stick that air unit light in there. So I've got there are plenty of projects laying around here. Then I've got to put that little drift together. And then I got to get my VTOL out sometime this week and get it ready to go for this weekend. And then I still have that Humongo Phoenix 2400 that I need to do something with. So. Wings are fun, but you need to be careful which one you start out with, because that AR Pro wing is not beginner friendly. Hell, that AR right there, it ain't too beginner friendly either. And watch out for water towers getting in your way. Just little advice. And the Optera wing that I had, that thing just started falling apart, and I finally just said screw it and pulled the electronics out of it and chunked the rest of it. I still want to get that Optera 2 meter, but eesh, price tag on that thing now is through the roof. What are you looking for there, Buster?
I'm seeing Mavic 4 prices for that. Yeah, you can get them through these camera companies, but they jack the price up like $500.
Yep.
Adorama and B&H Photos, they've got them pre-sale ones for 3,500 bucks.
Pre-sale. Pre-sale,
Yeah,
meaning they don't have them yet either.
yeah. So it's not yeah, just looking to see the Canadian company, the Canadian one I dropped the link on, those guys have the regular price on it, the regular US price. So I sent them an email, said, get me one. There it is, the Optera.
Yeah. But this is the big one. This is the 2-meter one, so that's 6 foot something. But that has a lot of room in it to put stuff and get enough battery in it and everything. So
You gotta you're gonna get the VTOL.
yeah, I'm breaking out the VTOL for next weekend.
All righty, Kai. I'm gonna head
Gonna
out.
have to show the RC clip down there what a VTOL is like.
Yeah. I gotta make like a baby and head out.
You gonna head out? Well, I'm gonna head out too because it is time to grab bite to eat.
Yeah, I'm hungry for something tasty, but been eating a lot of styrofoam lately.
Well, so Chuck, you survived putting in the breaker without getting electrocuted in the process? Not even a little tickle? How boring. How boring is that? But yeah, breakers do go bad. They get weak and then they go bad altogether. Well, I've seen a guy, and he was lucky too, because we worked on Fort Riley housing maintenance. And if you go down on the main post of Fort Riley, where the buildings are like 200 years old, and they had 3 different upgrades in there on the electricity, and you have breaker panels all over the house, and he was trying to replace a receptacle for the dryer. And he thought he turned off the right breaker. Turned out it wasn't the right breaker. And it bit him, but luckily it threw him across the room and he didn't stick. So, but yeah, the old 50 amp breaker. Yeah, that. Oh, you cooked the bus? Ouch. Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. If you cook the bus down one side, then you looking at putting in a breaker panel. So I don't know. I got bit plenty enough because we used to not just regular outlets. We replaced them live. We didn't even bother trying to find a breaker because those files were so freaking old. There was no telling where the breaker was. Then you had the old aluminum wire in there. Damn, you're really serious about spending money on that Mavic 4, aren't you?
I'm looking at the Speedy B Mario Fold 8.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't get on board with that full
And then
full
put bi-blade props on it.
folding props.
No, just flat ones, bi-blades, so they can fold flat.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling that frame. And
And then build it long range. So take those bi-blades and put some long range motors on it.
they don't even have it on their website anymore.
I'm on AliExpress.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that frame, it's the folding part of it that bothers me.
Well, it leaves the possibility of getting it out of balance if it's not folded out exactly, and that's where you get differences in flight. Or if it hits something while you're flying, one of those arms will go, All righty, man.
Look, if you're gonna upgrade panels, go for the 320 amp service. I don't know what y'all services up there, but that's just that happens to be the field that I work in these days. So, all right. Well, Dad, any more words of wisdom?
Nope. Nada. I'm in the process of designing my new concept.
You have a concept.
Yeah, my new concept. I'll
When
show
that
you.
happen?
I'll show you. I'm going to
You need
share
to
it.
go to the doctor now and get a shot.
I'm going to share I'm going to share I'm going to share you the link here. Right there. You get that?
You're gonna have a random roaster.
My new channel, the random roasters, and then I'll do coffee machines instead of drones. That's my new concept. You like that?
Yeah,
I'm always thinking about moving forward.
but the problem with you and coffee machines is you wouldn't know how to charge the batteries.
Random roasters, coffee.
So just real quick, so the rest of the world knows. I'm going to tell on you now. I get a video earlier from him where he was flying his little meteor. Flying is really being kind of gracious with what he was airborne for about 12 seconds. And I had to review it like 2-3 times. And then I noticed the voltage, his battery voltage went from about 4.1 something down to 3.8, like in no time flat. And then it dawned on me that somebody, again, hadn't figured out this whole high voltage thing on the batteries.
Well, the package doesn't really tell you much. It is in Chinese. So
Well, the
somewhere.
part where it reads HV on the battery,
Let's
that should give
see.
you. It's not on the package. Look on the battery itself.
The package doesn't even say high voltage.
On the battery
The
itself.
battery, I'm not even going to look at the battery because they're too small. I did charge them up to heart.
So he about half charged the battery.
It doesn't even say, oh yeah, it says LIHV on it right there.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah. So I do have two of them. I do have two of them charged to the correct voltage. So
yeah, you should get a little bit more flight time out of it now.
I'll scream the front yard. That one you
Falling
can.
in style. Yeah, that about describes it. He was trying to fly in his classroom, and he went up, and then he hit the ceiling, so he yanked the throttle down, and then he was on the other end of the room.
A ceiling is just like a freaking suction cup to freaking anything. You just get anywhere near the ceiling, and it goes. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's when props work properly. But
I tried to
Beta
put it in
FPV
Verizon
says
mode, and
on the Meteor, be careful how you route the camera cable. Don't have the camera cable up against the canopy.
yeah,
That might help. That might cause jello too.
yeah. I've
So you
it's
might
hard.
have to turn and twist the canopy one to where the cable twists up and not touch anything.
Yeah, well, you also got the grommets. There's so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go
the camera is really
uh,
mounted nicely in there.
change
It's
the
very loose. I
frequency,
mean,
the
it's
PWM frequency on the Blue Jay to 48, and then disable the Rocksteady in the goggles.
I already did
And
that. I got it in 4x3, and I disabled the rock steady. The next flights are gonna be gyro flow. I think that's what I did when I thought I did that earlier. Maybe the other goggles are set up that way. All righty, man. I gotta hustle. I gotta go.
all right, everybody, well, thank y'all. We'll be back next Tuesday,
I got
same
crap to
time.
do, man. My day's just freaking started.
Yeah. Oh,
I gotta move
go.
a treadmill and a stair stepper.
That'll keep the blood pressure down.
Was air mode on?
Yeah, air mode is on by default.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we'll see y'all next week. If you can, hit the thumbs up on the way up, please. We appreciate it. Until then, y'all be safe out there and stay cool. There's a terrible heat wave coming through here this week. So stay cool out there, friends.
We got a cool wave coming through, so you've got our heat
Good.
wave.
This way.
All right, take it easy.
I'll see you later.